Dimitrov goes backhand. He scores! Backhand chance. What a sensational save! We gotta change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. We gotta change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. We gotta change the game. He shoots. He scores!
From Mount Prospect Ice Arena, we're live for the SHL Championship right here on your home for SHL Hockey, the SHL Network on YouTube Live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into an absolutely sold-out Mount Prospect Ice Arena. When I tell you every single square inch, let alone every single seat is taken, that would be an understatement. We've got Wes Anderson, Dylan Ward down on ice level. I'm Max Anderson here for the SHL Final. It's the number 1 seed, the number 2 seed, the number 1 team in the state, the number 2 team in the state, Wes. The 2 best teams in the state are playing for a league championship tonight.
Max, it's a precursor to what some people think might be the state championship at All-State in just a couple weeks. We talked to both coaching staffs. The stars are going to come out tonight. Jack Hershett, Nolan Nuggets on the New Trier side, Albert Preswara, Ryan Loftus on the St. Viator side. We're excited to get this one going.
Meanwhile, on the other side, New Trier, plenty of firepower themselves, and for more on how they'll look to come in and upset the number 1 seed, we'll send it down to Dylan Ward, who's standing by with Adam Cheris.
Thanks, guys. Well, Adam, since you were brought on as head coach of New Trier Green, you've made the SHL Final every year. I know you got the bigger picture focus on state, but what does it mean to play in this championship game?
Well, it means a lot. You know, most of the top teams are always coming out of the SHL. You always go 1 through 8. Looks like they're all SHL teams. So it's another opportunity with all these top teams. And then again, you're going to probably run into them in state. So it means a lot to us.
Obviously, this barn is pretty packed right now. You're coming off another big crowd in that Loyola Game 3. How do you think your team responds to a big student section and just crowd in general?
I think we're used to it. I mean, we have the benefit of a great student section, very passionate fans that love their team. They love the program. All our kids come out for it. Our families, community are very supportive. I think it really kind of helps us, gives us some juice. I love that they have a big crowd. That gives us juice as well. Too many times we run into it where, it's just our students. So great to see them match it. We knew they would. Should be a really interesting game.
Well, you got St. Viator. You won 2 out of 3 games against them, and your 2 wins were right here in this building, Mount Prospect Ice Arena. What are you taking away from this game, looking forward to this matchup?
Well, it's an interesting point, and something we talked about is the away teams won every game. Normally when we get to this point of the year, you love to be able to match up, and for whatever reason, we've been playing these guys both ways because I know Tim matches as well. We're not getting that opportunity. So it's just worked out all right. For us, we know what Viator's all about. We've taken a long look at them. We've seen them a lot. We know what they bring. We know who their players are. We're very close with this program. I think it's going to be, like I said, just an awesome game.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Good luck.
Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate it.
Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. And a calm, cool, and collected, but excited Adam Cheris. One of the things I really appreciate about Adam Cheris, Wes, he appreciates the moment. He's not one of those, another game, we're just out here, it's another game. He appreciates the moment and embraces the moment.
I mean, and Max, they've been in so many big ones since he's been the head coach, 3 straight state championships, so he's used to this type of pressure. He's looking to get another big W here tonight.
Meanwhile, on the St. Viator side, the number 1 seed, number 1 team in the state, the favorite going into the state playoffs, still are so. They're through to the round of 8 as well. And they're looking to make a statement and win that first state championship in their school's history. Made it back in 2022, losing to Stevenson. That road to state starts tonight.
And that's why they have such a big crowd. The support behind this team, they can feel it. It feels like it's their year this year. You can see all the support. The Sear Red, defend the den, and that's what they hope to do tonight.
Now it's time to step aside here on the broadcast booth. Time for pregame festivities, which will include the SHL Awards and Honors. Coming your way here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Nicholas Sportsplex, your home for St. Viator Lions hockey. And tonight's SHL championship game features New Trier Green and your St. Viator Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to center ice as Sam Schwartz will presenting the SHL awards. And please join Max Anderson as he will announce the SHL award winners for 2025-2026.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 2026 Scholastic Cup Final. Tonight's final will feature the New Trier Green Trevians and your St. Viator Lions. Before tonight's game, as is customary, the SHL would like to announce and present the players selected to the All-SHL team. The SHL is considered the premier high school league in the state, and these 16 players selected to teams 1 and 2 represent the best of the best. Due to other state games being played tonight, many of the players are unable to attend in person, but we will still honor them as a league. Tonight, we will also be presenting the Goalie of the Year, Player of the Year, and Coach of the Year awards. Representing the SHL in presentation of the league awards tonight is Sam Schwartz. First, the All-SHL second team players that are unable to attend tonight. From Glenbrook North, forward Jackson Sterner. From Lake Forest, forward Thomas Esplin. From York, forward Jack Passion. From York, forward Jimmy Spano. And from York, defenseman Mason Shorter. And finally, from Loyola, goaltender Charlie Trapp. Now for the All-SHL first team players unable to be in attendance tonight. From Glenbrook North, defenseman Jake Semmelhack. And from Lake Forest, goalie Logan Marsh. Now time for the All-SHL second team in attendance here tonight. From Glenbrook South, forward Blake Hoffer. No longer here tonight. From Glenbrook South, defenseman Ryan Mulvey. From St. Viator, defenseman Tommy Speck. And from New Trier Green, goalie Max Reed. Now for the first team players in attendance here tonight. From New Trier Green, forward Jack Herstred. From St. Viator, forward Ryan Loftus. From St. Viator, forward Connor Sibitroff. From New Trier Green, defenseman Chase Marino. And the presentation for the league leading scorer from New Trier Green, Jack Herstred. And the goalie of the year in the SHL, not in attendance tonight, from Lake Forest, Logan Marsh. Now for the player of the year, from St. Viator, Connor Sibitroff. today, your Coach of the Year from St. Viator, Tim Benz. Congratulations to all award winners. Let's play some hockey.
Here are the starting lineups for the visiting New Trier Green, submitted by head coach Adam Cherish. At center, number 33, Jack Herstret. On right wing, number 27, Dane Lohmeyer. On left wing, number 10, Jack Walbean. On defense, number 8, Nolan Nagitz. And on defense, number 24, Kai Young. And in goal, number 26, Maxwell Reed. Now here's the starting lineup for your St. Viator Lions, submitted by head coach Tim Benz. At center, a senior number 9, Giovanni DePinto. On right wing, a senior number 14, Ryan Loftus. On left wing, a junior number 29, Colton Newhouse. On defense, a senior number 19, Adam Popiel. And on defense, a senior number 58, Jiang Hong. And in goal, a senior number 39, Calder Turpin.
Let's meet today's officials. When you're done, let's meet today's officials.
The officials for tonight's games, the referees are Andrew Wilkinson and Scott Gaffney. The linesmen are Zach Sargis and Sam Quinat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you all rise? Well, I'm sorry, hold on a second.
Read that.
As the SHL Tradition Awards winners to center ice for the national anthem. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and kindly remove all hats? Sam, you're playing the national anthem? As we join soloist Wayne Messmer, as we honor America for his rendition of our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Just an absolutely electric crowd here at Mount Prospect Ice Arena, as full as I've ever seen this rink, in Wes, pretty close to as full as I've seen any rink, and that includes just a couple of nights ago in Winnetka.
Max, electric, I think it's an understatement. We got two rows around the backs, around the net. We've got 2 or 3 deep behind the stands, and the student section is ready to rock. This place is ready to explode. Little explicitives coming from the St. Viator student section, but this place is ready to erupt for whoever scores the first goal.
We cannot necessarily take credit or blame for anything that comes through the mics. We're not governed by the FCC, fortunately, here tonight on YouTube. Govern yourselves accordingly, because we are right next to a good 300 or 400 deep St. Viator student section just feet away. So be warned, children around.
We're trying our best.
Wes, we talked a good amount about St. Viator. Didn't talk much about New Trier, who in a convincing Game 3, got a little closer at the end, but in a convincing way got through Loyola in that semifinal.
Yeah, Max, it was really those 4 goals in that second period. A tight game, as you mentioned, through the first 17, but in that second frame, the Trevians really pulled away. A lot of pressure on Charlie Trapp. 4, as I mentioned, in that frame, and they were really able to put a stranglehold in that game and punch their ticket into tonight.
17 minutes up on the clock. We'll play 3 of those periods and maybe a little bit more if we have to. 1 game, winner takes all for the SHL Cup. From Mount Prospect Ice Arena, we are underway on the SHL Network. Great to be with you. Max Anderson, Wes Anderson, and Dylan Ward here on the SHL Network. Jack Hirschritt off the drop, has the puck at the near circle. Fires on net, but deflects off the back of the net. And Jiang Hong comes away with it for St. Viator. Ryan Loftus gets a quick touch on it out to neutral ice. Busy day of hockey. Of course, Team USA with the dramatic overtime win against Team Canada earlier. So if this is a continuation of your hockey day, we are thrilled to have you with us. Woolman takes into the zone, absorbs a check from Loftus. Now Hong comes over to play physically as well. Pepe LeBoy. Now swiped along by Popiel, but not out. Around the other side for Hong. He'll play up the middle of the ice and get out to neutral ice where Peter Marino slows it down in front of a faceoff dot. New Trier, the better of the pressure so far, but neither team with a shot on goal here in the first minute and a half.
As the referees try and get everything sorted out here. A little bit of confusion on their end, but I think they made the right call. One of those you see them powwow there together just to make sure they've got everything squared away from their side of things.
14:09 to go here in the first. Draw to come to the right of Max Reed. Solomon trying to play it out. Kept in at least for the moment right before the blue line by Colton Newhouse. Comes hot off the boards. Trevian's going to try to carry it out. That's Nolan Nagets. Now LeBoy gets tripped up. Viator looking for a penalty. They're not going to get one here early in this championship game. Now with space up the left side, Newhouse. Skates forward. Newhouse's shot deflected by Nagets. Trickles into the corner.
Great stick there by Nagets.
Viator starting to flip the ice a bit. Now Nagets steps across center line, fires it deep. Jung Hong touched along, but kept in by Wilson. Below the goal, trying to get it out to Janetsko. Just a bit of a deflection from the stick of the Lion. Slowed that down. The pass off the wall looking for Hong. Goes too far, but on Reed, so we'll get a whistle.
Guys, as you know, we post on the SHL Instagram before every game, regular season or playoffs, who the followers think is going to win. Coming in hot at puck drop, the prediction right now, St. Viator 59% to 41% for New Trier. So the fans at home believe St. Viator is going to win the SHL final for the first time.
Now point blank chance, trying to get on the scoreboard first, but just going wide of the cage of Max Reed. Priswara gloves it. Trying to play forward, now a backdoor chance. Max Reed got a piece of it and maybe off the post.
And Max, we're going to get a great replay at this. It looks like one of the Trevians in front is getting a few shots of Calder Turpin there, but great stick in tight. Peter Marino looks like he gets a piece of that at the very end. You can see Reed moving over to his right. Peter Marino comes in at the last second. Just a great recovery on a defensive play there to help his goaltender out.
Puck ended up never getting on target there. Scoreless through the first 4 and change. Off the draw, puck still loose in the crease, trying to stuff it home, and it's in! Viator takes a 1-0 lead early.
Great net front presence. The first goal in these games is so crucial, Max. The Lions 13-2-2 when scoring first in the regular season. And just a crash play at the net off of a face-off win.
Maybe the goal cam will give us a look from the other direction.
And you can see straight to the student section over here. Off the Trevian in front, but just the determination and the will. Connor Sibiktroff, or excuse me, Mason Steffen.
I think, yeah.
It's one of those where without the nameplates, it can get a little confusing, especially from Mark's vantage point. But
that first 6 can look like a 5. Now right off the draw, the follow-on chance just wide. The crowd still buzzing from the goal before.
But Mason Steffen just determined there to put that puck in the net, and the Lions have a 1-0 lead here early in the first.
This one in on Reed. This time he swallows it into his chest and takes a defensive zone draw.
You can see immediately he came down towards the student section. Reed with great left pad save. One of those we talked about in that Loyola game with the rebound control. Would he clean up the rebound control from before in that second game? It looked like he was a little bit sharper in that Loyola game. We saw in that last opportunity a little bit shaky. Let's see how the Trevian's netminder will respond.
Now comes Alex Roween. Far half wall, trying to make his way off. Eventually chipped back out to neutral ice. Nolan Nagets goes D-to-D for Oyang. Here's Knight. Forecheck from Jenner Layden, but not able. No, now he is able to win the puck back. Well, the puck is George Knight. New Trier trying to use their forecheck to find the first goal of the game for the Trevians. Oyang's shot is blocked, comes back out to neutral ice, where Nolan Nagets controls.
Chaconi with a great shot block there to get that puck out of the zone.
Nagets steps across the red line and drops it in deep. Trevians go for a few changes. Oyang steps in the way of this one, had to wait for his man to clear. Jenner Layden didn't quite make it. Viator calling for an extended offside.
Guys, look at the shots on goal. 7-1 St. Viator right now. They've been absolutely killing it in that department so far in this SHL postseason, averaging 33 shots per game and only allowing an average of 19. they're more than on pace to beat that so far tonight against one of the top offenses in New Trier.
And Dylan, too, with New Trier really having the majority of the pressure there the first 3 minutes. It's been all Lions, what feels like, since that point in time in the game. Obviously getting the first goal, opening the scoring, and it really just seems like they have all the momentum. Their crowd is into it. That's what I mentioned. Whoever scored first, their crowd is going to get up and loud, and obviously being at home, the Lions have the majority of the student section, as Max mentioned, so they're ready to erupt one more time, 2 more times, 3 more times until their team is able to pull this one out.
And it may seem deceiving to us because we're just right next to the Viator student section, but even though this is free entry, no tickets, it's probably 70-30 Viator fans here at Mount Prospect.
And you can even see when you look behind Max Reed, there's two rows deep of standing room only, so this place is packed to the gills.
Now centering pass, but not quite to Solomon. Comes to Loftus. On comes Newhouse. Newhouse's shot deflects off a stick up into the netting. We'll get a draw.
Yeah, I struggled just to get down here to the bench area to get in my sideline position. We talked on Wednesday about how that was probably the most packed I've ever seen Winnetka Ice Arena. Guys, this is by far the most packed I've ever seen Mount Prospect.
Defend the den. You can see it across the stands to our left over here. They are certainly trying to do that tonight with the 1-0 lead. They're off to a great start.
Draw to the left of Reed. Comes to the corner. Off the half wall. Sibitrov, point-blank chance for Priswar, and Reed's able to fight it off. And not able to handle it at the point was Finn Hogan. Now they're going to give icing out of it. Thought that should have been probably waived. Looked like Finn Hogan made a play at the puck and just whiffed on it. But a break here for Viters. They'll get an offensive zone draw.
It's the second time we've seen Viator with a set play off of a face-off. Before that led to the Steffen goal. Once again, we saw a Lions player out in front of Maxwell Reed with another great scoring opportunity. Reed able this time to come up with the save, but the Trevians really need to clean that up in front of their goaltender in the defensive end.
Want to make sure we give a good shout out to our official postseason sponsor here on the SHL Network. You saw the logo at the end of the sponsors, GramX.com. Big thank you to them for stepping up and becoming a postseason sponsor. That's going to be a penalty, our first one of the game. It's going to go against New Trier for roughing.
Noah Nagats just steps up in the neutral zone. You can see it right there on Connor Sibitroff. I think he saw the numbers before the puck came in there. I think that's why he's going to go for roughing, and tough penalty to take one of those, Max. I saw you squint one of those. I also think maybe let him play in a game like this. One of those that's 50-50. He's been in penalty trouble before too, but another great chance here for the Viator to extend their lead.
St. Viator has been struggling on the power play in the SHL playoffs so far, just 16.7%. You look at the 3 games these two teams played against each other in the regular season as well. Viator 0 for 4 on the power play across those 3 games, so you could mark that up as their due, or New Trier's due for a big penalty kill.
And Dylan, you talked about numbers on the penalty kill and power play here. New Trier currently 9th in the league on their penalty kill. Kind of a shocking number for a team. Excuse me, 5th on the penalty kill. They're 9th on the power play, which given them the second-ranked team in the league, surprising as well. We'll get to that later, but even being 5th, that's not normally where you see New Trier down at 82.7%.
Especially for a team that has the most goals in the SHL at 104. You'd think a lot of those would come with the man advantage. As you mentioned, Max, just surprising with the type of firepower that the Trevians had, that they wouldn't have a better percentage with that man advantage.
Sibitroff able to keep it in at the near point. Sibitroff, slot extended, takes a shot. Reed's able to swallow it, and Key, no rebound.
We highlighted before, rebound control has been issues at times for Max Reed. We saw it a little bit earlier in this first period, that left pad save, but they're able to track it all the way with a little bit of a screen. No rebound, is able to get the Trevians to reset here and catch their breath.
Draw comes behind. Oyang trying to play it along. Instead, it's Ryan Loftus. LeBoy near half wall. Up for Sibitroff. Takes a shot off the crossbar and up into the netting. Back close to the game's second goal.
I mean, 54 in red is not the one person that you want to have free reign to just come in and fire away. Looks like Reed, though, is able to see that through a little bit of a screen in front that he fights through. Can't tell if he gets a little bit with that shoulder before it hits the pipe, but Trevians are lucky that this isn't a 2-0 hockey game.
Draw to the right of Reed. We get a face-off violation. See if anyone gets tossed, or we'll just do it over. But I mentioned Gramex.com before that penalty we had just a couple minutes ago. Huge thank you to Sam Sanfilippo stepping up. Like we talked about on Wednesday night, just walked up to us and said, how do I get my logo, how do I get my brand on the SHL network? And 24 hours later, we had a sponsorship deal. So big thank you to them, and as a big help as we pick up these extra playoff games. We had more Game 3s in the SHL playoffs than we've ever had, and we were able to broadcast a lot of them. New Trier wants an offsides. They don't get one. Priswara with the puck below the goal. Now Selleck throws some weight around, but Viator able to pry it free. Loftus takes a shot wide of the cage of Reed. Comes a Sibitrov. Now Loftus just misses Priswara. LeBoy the shot, side of the net, still bouncing around, trying to stuff it home. Eventually finding the puck and firing it down ice for the Trevians, and they can get 4 fresh bodies on the ice on the penalty kill.
And Nick Cannon is going to battle in front of the Trevians net, really trying to set up that screen in front of Reed and make his life difficult on this man advantage.
Here comes Loftus with a head of steam. Second in the SHL this season in points was Ryan Loftus. Led the league in goals with 19. Now Jiang Hong has trouble handling the puck, but fortunately falls to the stick of Mason Steffen. He tried to drop back to his point, but his defenseman wasn't there. Final couple seconds of the power play for St. Viator. And now a broken twig for Andrews. He's got to head back to the bench in a hurry. Chipped in and on the net of Reed. Marino slides it around the boards, trying to force it out. Instead, it's kept in along the half wall. Now Rowan with a physical play wins the puck. He'll carry it out of the zone himself. Rink wide for Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer coming off a 3-assist game in Game 3 against Loyola. Now puck bouncing around the side of the net of Calder Turpin, but he's able to keep it away. Lohmeyer collects for the Trevians. Good active stick that time by Finn Hogan to disrupt the possession for the Trevians. Oyang wants to move quickly, drags, but can't complete the move as Jiang Hong cuts him off. Lohmeyer stick lifted. And now with speed comes Sibitrov. One-on-one, Sibitrov, big save, Reed up into the netting. Back and forth we go.
And look at the jets that Connor Sibitrov puts on. He gets this puck in the neutral zone. You see right here, he blows past the Trevians defense, and Max Reed with a big save there.
Connor Sibitrov, Player of the Year. He got the trophy earlier tonight to make it official. Guys, that had 2-0 written all over it. What a stop by Max Reed.
Yeah, and he's able to get the whistle there as well. That you could see the Trevians needed some reinforcements on the ice, so the Nutra goaltender standing tall here in the first period.
Back to the point, point to point. Shot from the point, no traffic in front, right into Reed off the stick of Popule.
And something you don't see too often. We're over halfway through this first period. New Trier, it says 1 on the scoreboard. I think it might be closer to 2. To Calder Turpin with 1 big save early on in the first period. Outside of that, hasn't had a lot of action. It just goes to show you how good on both sides of the puck this Lions team can really be.
Can anybody slow down this charge that is the St. Viator Lions right now? York got the rough end of it in back-to-back games in the semifinals. It was Glenbrook North that was roughed up in 2 games in the quarterfinals, and Viator just looking like a team that's going to be tough to beat from this point on.
Cruise control is what I've been saying, Max. Back-to-back shutouts against York and really rolling over the Spartans in that second game in the quarterfinals there, and they look like a team that is poised to go the distance.
Nagitz gets pressure from Priswara. Sibitrov comes to support. Sibitrov, far half wall, gets it back to the point, and Hong. Hong shot along the ice, never made it through, it hit a skate. Now Lohmeyer for the Trevians. A key distributor for New Trier is Cade Lohmeyer. Hirschstrand able to pick up the puck. High slot, Hirschstrand glove save, Calder Turpin. And you were just calling out, would he be ready when his number got called? And boy, was he.
And Herschel looks off Walbin right there, sets up a little bit of a screen in front from Hong there, but Turpin able to locate the entire way. Makes his second, I should say, big stop in the first period.
Yeah, Wes, I was just going to ask you, how clutch is it to make that stop when you haven't faced a lot of shots on goal by this point in the game?
You can see that he's been moving around in between whistles, so he's keeping himself warm, and he's a person that's always engaged. But yeah, Dylan, it's really tough when you haven't had a lot of shots come your way to really feel the puck and feel like you're into the game.
Here's Finn Hogan. Stretch pass off the stick of Steffen. He's trying to catch up to it to avoid icing. Oh, no icing call. Looked like it should have been, but a break again for Viator. Now John Wilson with the puck for New Trier. Finds Charlie Cannon up the right side. Wraps it around the boards, takes a hit, but gets it deep. Here's Finn Hogan. Now Tommy Speck. New Trier starting to try to finish some checks to change the tempo of this game. Hogan through the neutral zone. Excuse me, that was Kolpins. Rink wide for Charlie Cannon. Speck rings it around the boards, but Tucker's able to keep it alive for New Trier. Janetsko, shot from a sharp angle, kicked aside by Calder Turpin. That one off the head of Matthew Chacon. His brother Michael Chacon suspended for the game after a misconduct in their state game. He'll be back for their next quarterfinal game, but having to sit out this SHL championship.
Yeah, and that's a tough one to take. We heard Tim Benz talk about it. 6-0, dying moments of the third period. And he's been lighting it up in the postseason so far for St. Viator. So this is a key game to miss out on, with this only being a single game instead of a three-game series.
Draw one by the Trevians, played in towards Turpin, but well wide. Now Newhouse feeds DePinto from a sharp angle. DePinto, and Reed's able to fall on it, and Reed takes a little bit of a rough hit on the way by from DePinto.
You can see him shaking off his blocker side hand too. Looks like he's going to be okay, and gives up a little bit of a rebound. You can see there off the, looks like the blocker or right pad area, but able to pounce on the rebound before the Lions can tap it in. He's been sharp, except for that one crash play at the net where he gave up the goal to Steffen. Reed's been really sharp here in the first 12 minutes of this first period.
Had a lot of whistles, slow moving first period so far. Still 5 minutes to go. Or is that just me, Wes?
I feel the first 3 minutes there were no whistles, Max, and I thought we were going to be in for a quick game here, but ever since then it has been somewhat of a stop and start type feel to this game. I think that really favors the Lions too. They're happy to play that game. It allows them to recoup and use their speed, get a little bit more rest for that top line, which we know the coaching staff really likes to double shift when they get things going. So if I'm New Trier, I like to play that run and gun type of game that we saw in the first 3 minutes.
Lions go and change 4 bodies. Out with it come the Trevians. Their program mates, New Trier Blue, oh so close to knocking off number 3 Loyola Gold earlier tonight in the state tournament. A 6-5 final, but Loyola trailed 5-4 with just 4 minutes to go for tying it up and taking the lead in regulation. Here's Alex Roweens, shot off the skate of a Lion defenseman and up into the netting with 4 even to go.
You've also got Glenbrook North and Bennett playing tonight. That's a key game for St. Viator, as they'll take on the winner of that in the quarterfinals at West Meadows 6 days from now on Saturday.
Dylan, we're going to tap you. I believe that game started simultaneous with us, so we're going to lean on you for some updates throughout the game on that.
I'm getting on it right now.
We know Sam Schwartz that's in the penalty box as well. He'll be all over that, Dylan, so you guys can tag team that. Keep us updated on all the scores that are coming in tonight.
St. Viator trying to etch their name in the Scholastic Cup for the first time here in the Scholastic Hockey League. They've already got part 1 of what we call the treble here in high school hockey, an ode to the European soccer trophies. They won the SHL regular season, trying to win the SHL Cup. Here's LeBoy. He's rudely pushed down to the ice trailing Isaac Solomon does a nice job of breaking up the play. But I mentioned the 3 tournaments, of course, the regular season, the SHL, the SHL Cup, and of course, the state championship, which will be crowned at All-State Arena on March 6th. Breaking forward, Roween. Lividitis up the slot. Lividitis can't get a piece of it as it comes across. And once again, the Trevians one and done as the puck back out to neutral ice. Quickly forward is Finn Hogan. The shot deflected up into the netting for a whistle.
Finn Hogan with a great defensive play there on Leviditis as that puck from Wayne was coming across the crease. Great backhand sauce to even get that over to the backhand, or to the glove hand side, of Calder Turpin. But as soon as that play happens, he's turned up the ice, headman the puck, and just trying to generate things on the offensive side of things.
Guys, Glenbrook North currently up 1-0 to the Bennett Red Wings, last year's defending runner-up in the first period.
We'll keep an eye on that game all game long. We appreciate you being with us here tonight. It's nice to know this is the only hockey game going on right now. Of course, the Olympics over and the NHL all quiet. So maybe we have even more viewers than we otherwise would have on this Sunday night.
And what a game that was, USA-Canada. I was having a heart attack for what felt about 5 hours this morning. You can tell the voice is just a little bit raspy as I was screaming at the boys to get that one done, and that did they ever in that 3-on-3. Jack Hughes with a great play from Ruwenski there to seal the first USA gold medal in 46 years.
And guys, I did just take a peek in case you're curious. Just south of 700 people tuned into this one right now.
Wow, those are big time numbers. Watching live here tonight, thank you from all over the country, all over the world. Here's Kai Oyang, skates into the zone, turns, fires, gets the deflection in front from Wolobin. Trier trying to respond, getting severely outshot and outpossessed so far, but only trailing 1-0. Oyang clears some space as the puck roll off his stick. This one goes down the length of the ice for icing.
And Oyang there with some great speed down that left side. As we'll see some of our sponsors here on the screen, but just some great speed down that left side. You see him pull up and look for some traffic in front. Looked like Wolobin got a stick on that right before it came in on net. Calder Turpin with another great save here in the first period.
Not just a huge crowd in the rink, but there's probably another 100 to 150 people watching in the restaurant overlooking Mount Prospect Ice Arena. This is what high school hockey is all about in an SHL final. Jake Pukala brings the puck into the zone. Finn Hogan waiting for it at the near point. Trevians have 3 bodies trying to win possession as Pukala continues to battle. Przwara there with him. Eventually it's Knight coming away with it for the Trevians. Now Peter Marino bringing it forward. Marino takes a shot, but it's blocked. The follow-on chance off the back of the net. Jenner Layden can't keep possession. Once again, it's a one and done for the Trevians. Just have not been able to sustain possession or attack to this point. Now Knight trying to change that script across to Selleck near circle. Selleck shot swallowed up by Turpin.
Turpin on top of his crease there. Jenner Layden coming in there late, trying to get a stick on that if he could, but Turpin, as we see his numbers through the regular season there, Turpin on top of his crease, making himself look big there, and another save for the Lions netminder. You can see tracks it perfectly across the crease. Feet on top of the blue paint there and makes it a really tough save look easy.
Feels like we're at a juniors game right now with the air horn from the crowd.
It's an energy, it's a special energy right now, I'll tell you. Huge collision. Puck still kind of sitting on the side of the net. Still loose, trying to stuff it home. That puck's almost in. Referee right on top of it, shaking his head. That puck, we could see it perfectly from our angle here at the broadcast spot, was starting to sneak around the post. And Turpin kept it out.
You can see it right in here. Turpin, I think he thought the puck was going to move to the right side before it got jammed up on that play. You could see from our vantage point, he wasn't flush to the post. Right in here, not flush to the post, and in doing so, the puck can still be loose. So I'll get rid of the mark on the telestrator there. He wasn't flush to the post, and that's why I think New Trier saw a little bit of daylight.
Here's a shot blocker away by Turpin. Jack Hirschritt in the final 30 of the period. Now we're going to get the Ames first penalty against St. Viator coming. Across the ice. Deflected away by Hong. Now up into the ceiling, and we'll get a whistle. But New Trier in the final 20 is going to head to the power play. Cross-check the call. So New Trier mentioned it, a 17.3% power play. Usually that's okay, but power play numbers way up this year in the SHL, and that's good for 9th. It's been better in the postseason, 4 for 19, but not used to seeing New Trier not have bigger power play numbers. Here's Jack Hirschritt. Now Simitroff shorthanded up for Leboy. Leboy able to catch up to it. Leboy, big save, Reed in the final seconds of the period. And then Reed takes a whistle.
What a pass. Max, what a pass. That looked like there was nothing there. Leboy just shot out of a cannon. We'll see a replay here. He dekes to the forehand to the glove side. Great patience by Max Reed to just hold his ground there, push over to his right. Catches it right in the breadbasket. That's how you know he's square the puck the entire way.
2 and change left here in the period, or the referee's going to have a conversation if clock was properly adjudicated. They add a couple of seconds, so now 5 seconds remain in the period.
And Max, this officiating staff has been all over it. I saw that too. A few ticks did come off there before the whistle, so they have been on their A game here in this championship.
Now 6.5 put on the clock. So a real chance here for Viator shorthanded, but not able to get the puck out. Hong's shot blocked by Wolobin, and that will expire the first period after 17 minutes. A controlling lead, 1-0, but a controlling pace for St. Viator in the first.
And Max, they have been all over the Trevians in their defensive zone. That first, 12 minutes? The Lions really were dictating the pace of the game. They were really being the aggressors. And then it seemed like towards the end there, before New Trier got their power play, New Trier had a few good chances there on Turpin. Turpin able to make the save, and they take a 1-0 lead into the second period.
We'll take a quick timeout, catch our breath, come back with second period action in just a moment. You're watching the SHL Championship on the SHL Network on YouTube Live. Welcome back. Second period about to get going here for Mount Prospect Ice Arena. A 1-0 lead for the St. Viator Lions, the top seed after one period. 17 minutes back up on the clock. The period of the long change for both sides. Wes Anderson, Dylan Ward down on ice level. Max Anderson here with the call for you and our great SHL Network crew. Jimmy the Wiz bringing out 8 cameras here tonight. All the different camera angles you see. Big thank you to Jimmy the Wiz. And our last official SHL Network broadcast of the season. Of course, we'll be back next weekend for the state quarter and semifinals the J&M Media crew, and all of that will be broadcasted on the SHL Network YouTube page, but technically those are A-High broadcasts. But you will hear many of the same voices you've heard all season long. Here's Civitrov shorthanded, the glove save by Reed.
And even though they are down one man on this penalty kill, it feels like the Lions have had the better of the opportunities here on this New Trier power play. It's the second time we've seen a Lions player come in all alone on Maxwell Reed and force him to make a big save.
.16.5 to go. In the corner with the puck is Matthew Chacon. Trying to break it out, Peter Marino. Here's Marino. Tries to squeeze between two defenders. Tommy Speck cut him off. Now Selleck has to hustle back. He's getting pressure by Chacon. Pops loose as the Trevians didn't realize the pressure they had in front of them. Pretty significant amount of snow buildup in front of the goal of Max Reed as well. Something to keep in mind as we go along here in the second period. Jenner Layden centering pass. Knight's shot goes just wide. Selleck. New Trier trying to get something going at the tail end of this power play. Haven't had much going so far. Selleck. Feeds for Knight, top of the near circle. Tries to go across, but hits the shin boards. I believe that was John Colpins this time. And now again, shorthanded. Thought about going for it instead. Get the puck deep, and that does it for the power play for the Trevians. Back to 5-on-5. And immediately, Colton Newhouse steps in on the turnover. Right in front, backhanded shot. Max Reed there to clean it up.
And some nifty hands there by Ryan Loftus. We can see right here as he comes out of the corner. Just so nifty, and it's so hard for the goaltender to read the puck off the stick, off the backhand there. So Reed really able to hold his ground well there and make a great glove save here early on in the second period.
15-11 to go in the period. Here's a shot from the high slot, turned aside off of the stick of Newhouse. Big swing at it was Giovanni DePinto. And back out to neutral ice. Hong with it at the red line. He'll chip it in on Reed. Henry Tucker tries to wrap it around the boards, but couldn't get it past Ryan Loftus. Now Solomon. And another broken stick. This time it's Young Hong. Loftus couldn't get a shot off as Lividitis comes over to take the puck away. Rink wide for Solomon. Alex Rowan trying to get back into the play. The shot between the legs of Adam Popiel, easily gloved by Turpin.
And smart play there by Solomon to use the defenseman as a screen. You can see Turpin picks it up a little bit late, but either way, just able to make a clean glove save there. First shot on goal for the Trevians in this second period. One of those that they're really going to need to ramp up things on the offensive side of things if they want to get things tied up here.
Guys, you got me up there?
Now we got you.
Yeah, we got you.
That might have been a little engineer sabotage on my part, Dylan. I apologize. I had you muted up here.
Well, Max, just don't let it happen again.
Sorry about that, Dylan. Missed a couple of nuggets from Dylan over the last couple of minutes. Coming forward are the Lions. Cross looking for Civitrov. Now Priswara. LeBoy in front. Good stick from Reed to disrupt the pass. Civitrov takes a check. Vider didn't like it. And now Janetsko playing forward for the Trevians. Gets it to Cannon. Cannon shot just wide of the net. Wilson in the corner. LeBoy comes to support. Cannon as well. Oyang the shot. Blockered away. Pukala off the glass and out to Noel Nagats. Here's Charlie Cannon. Takes a shot, but it's blocked by Finn Hogan. Hogan hard up the middle of the ice, but intercepted by Wolobin. Nagets across for Lohmeyer. Now Jack Herstrit. Herstrit had maybe the best game I've seen him personally have all season long against Loyola a couple of nights. I'm sure there might have been a better one. I don't see every game, but for my eyes, it was as good as I've seen him.
Max, one of those where it felt like he checked in late. He really got things going in that second period, but once he did, he had 2-3 points, a great backhand pass there, I think on the third goal, and then a nifty just stay-at-home backdoor play for the fourth one there, and he really took control of that game for the Trevians. Is a big reason why they were to pull that out against the Ramblers.
Herstrit gets a piece of it. Wolobin gives chase. Hong pushed off the puck. Now Herstrit behind the goal. Tries to go between his legs, but Johnny on the spot waiting for it and clearing it. Here's Stefan. Stefan's shot, left pad save from Reed. Herstrit rink wide for Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer cross for Herstrit. Tight angle. Goes across head and angle. Wolobin was coming back door. Couldn't complete the pass. Now the active stick of John Kolpins forces the puck out. Here's Marino. Marino across to Selleck, top of the near circle, takes a shot, and it deflects up. Probably another step or two there, Wes. Now Selleck again winds up, takes the shot, deflected aside. But on that first opportunity for Selleck, had maybe another step or two to make it an even tougher save on Turpin. We'll get back to that in a moment as Chacon comes forward. His shot well over the bar. That's going to spring Marino out. Peter Marino has a couple of players coming up the ice. Herstrit and Wolobin. The shot in on Turpin, and he'll take a whistle.
And Max, you go back to that play. I think we're going to see it here. Selleck right there. You can see he has 3 or 4 as you're just great with the telestrator. Very vintage of Eddie O up here, Max Anderson. It looked like he had, maybe 10 more feet to step in. The screen was set up. You see Herstrit in front of Turpin. There's some room right there where he could step in and really pick his spot. And look at you just killing it with the telestrator.
I had to step in, Wes. I'm sorry. I took your spot there.
No,
I felt it.
By all means. By all means. You called it out, too. But just something, if that's one of those where you see the NHL players, they have iPads on the bench. They go and look at them. One of those that I don't completely love that. But
we saw Devon Taves do it today in the gold medal game.
Where one of those where they go, they look at things like that. They go to try and analyze their play in real time. That's one of those, you have an iPad on the bench. You think Selleck goes back and like, I could take a step in and maybe even take a slap shot there and force Turpin to make an even harder save.
Yeah, Eddie Olczyk broke it down brilliantly as this passed across. And now a gamble and losing was Jack Andrus. It sets Viator up. The shot turned aside by Loftus. Battle in the corner. 4 players trying to sort through the puck. Eventually it's Tucker. Spun around by looking for Rowan. Unofficial shot totals right now with St. Viator leading 18-8. Say unofficial, but I know Sam Schwartz is keeping it in the box, so it's about as close to official as you'll ever get.
Sam Schwartz could be a statistician in the NHL if he really needed to, just the way he's so dialed in with all the minor details of the games.
Now Prezwar doesn't get the puck out. Ouyang looking backdoor, backhanded shot, trying to bury it, but not able to was Lividitis. How did that not go in? We'll get a replay when we can. Nagets pestered the entire way. Solomon at the blue line gets it out. Now Lividitis trying to get another chance at it. Across for Rowan, just behind him and not quite able to handle it. Nagets again trying to play it rink wide, but deflected along the way. This time it'll be icing against St. Viator. Oh, so close to the first goal for New Trier. Let's take a look.
Great replay right there. You can see Calder Turpin dead to his left. Look at all that space there on his right as we continue going on there. But spread eagle just able to get that right pad out. So we'll get rid of that mark. You can see once again, just spread out, able to.
Makes 2 saves, Wes. There was the initial and then the stuff attempt.
He's able to just cover the lower part of that net. The best save for him so far in this game. This is the reason that it's a 1-0 hockey game here for St. Viator.
Now not well handled in front of his bench by Ouyang, but Herstrit back to support. Lohmeyer feeds forward for Wolobin. Off the glass but not out as Noel Nagats keeps it alive for the Trevians. Spun around the boards, Adam Popiel with it in the corner. Tried to clear it up the middle of the ice. Herstrit tried to take advantage, wasn't able to control. Now Ouyang, cross Herstrit, ton of space near circle, winds up, shoots. Brief rebound given up. Whistle for blown.
Guys, I'm not sure if you're going to get a replay of that, but from my vantage point, that looked pretty clearly offside on that zone entry by New Trier.
Yeah,
so it got stopped, but
Dylan, we're only going to see the angle kind of down the left side of the rink here, but it's Max highlights. There's a lot of room upstairs there if New Trier starts to look to pick some corners. Max is just buzzing up here with the telestrator.
Hey, if you're not going to jump in, I will.
He's having himself a gold medal game.
I'm no Luke Jordan, who's mastered the telestrator. Shout out Luke. He was supposed to be on this broadcast, but has a 102+ fever, so we said stay away, please. We've got a lot of broadcasts coming up. But Luke, we miss you. We're looking forward to a 4-man crew. Instead, we'll have to live a huge hit by Jack Herstrit, as he had Giovanni DePinto parallel with the ice. Shot from Marino, sharp angle, spins around. Selleck tries to scoop it back into the zone. He is able to get it back in the zone. Now Marino fresh on the ice. Selleck can't handle it at the blue line. That might pop free for Loftus, but Selleck a nice stick lift to prevent the opportunity. And with 8:15 to go, we'll get a whistle.
Surprised Turpin didn't try to play that. So we see DePinto going to the bench, and Viator will change things up. Maybe Turpin saw that his team needed a change. That's actually, let me be the one that's mistaken there. It's great awareness there by the Lions netminder to know where his team's at. So they get a wholesale change here. All 5 guys come off the ice. I feel like he could sense that his team needed just to recuperate, catch their breath, and get some 5 fresh skaters on the ice.
Ouyang at center ice. Gets it across for Janetsko. Drags it along, gets it below the goal. Now Wilson. Comes to Nagats. Ouyang wants to move quickly. Drags around one. Still has the puck. Trying to keep his feet. Janetsko for Ouyang. Across, but nobody there for New Trier. Seven and a half to go here in the second period of the SHL championship game. 2 teams playing for the SHL Cup. Should say the Scholastic Cup. Tommy Speck with the puck now. Stretch pass, gets it to him, but just offside, says the linesman. I thought he held it, Wes, but Matthew Ciccone wasn't able to handle it anyways.
Guys, I'm not going to be able to see the replay like you are, but from my vantage point, I thought that was a good offside call by the linesman. It was close, though.
Jimmy backing it up in slow motion. Jimmy, back it up just a little bit more if you can. If you can reverse. Look at me producing on the fly.
Yeah.
Just out of camera angle, so can't quite tell.
And they bring it all the way back, too.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right call. I think, if anything, that's such a bang-bang play. That should just come right outside the zone.
Knight with the puck below the goal for the Trevians. Now Jenner Layden. Missed a lot of the last part of the season. Came back. Haven't quite seen the imprint on this team that we expected. Still trying to get his playoff legs under him.
And the message definitely at the break there for the Trevians was get more pucks on net. It seems like they're being a little bit more strategic, a little bit more aggressive, just firing that puck toward Calder Turpin's way. They're trying to get that shot total up, trying to wear out the Lions netminder. So I wouldn't be surprised if the shot totals, as we go into the second intermission, are closer than they were after the first, the 13-7 in favor of the St. Viator Lions. I'd expect the Trevians to try and close that gap as they get more pucks on net.
Knight with the shot, wide of the goal of Turpin. Out front, puck bouncing around and cleared out. Marino skating hard to get to this puck. Icing waved as he was getting pressure up the ice from Newhouse. Selak through the middle of the ice. Comes Roween. And Roween can't handle it. Marino. Pops into the Viator bench and we'll get a whistle.
So we get a good shot of the crowd here. It looks like the New Trier side. Everybody's up on the New Trier bench. Even though it feels like Viator's dictated the majority of the play, you can still see they're still up in good spirits. They're only down 1 goal, too. It's a one-shot game. You talked about earlier the experience of the Trevians coaching staff. They've been in tight games like this before, so no panic at all from their side.
Here's Jenner Layden. Slows for Selleck. Selleck's shot, fought off. Rebound in front, still loose. No whistle yet. Stabbing at it, still loose. Finally, we get the whistle. Chaos in front of the net of Calder Turpin.
And maybe a quick whistle as that, as we see the puck make its way out. As we'll get a good look from behind the net. We can't really locate it because Turpin is in front of it, but
Tommy Speck playing goalie number 2.
yeah, Tommy Speck. The shades of Charlie McAvoy earlier.
Good officiating. That puck was loose until there. Still bouncing around a little bit.
Loose. It looked like Turpin jabbed at it as almost like a baseball catcher there to try and freeze things down, but wasn't able to actually get it in his glove.
Speck in the corner, off the glass. Marino cuts in to keep it alive. Now Roween whiffs on his wrap attempt. Comes to Layden. Now Roween. Collision in the corner as Speck and Knight go down, still tangled up. Now 3 bodies down on the ice. It's a yard sale, point blank shot from Layden, swallowed up by Turpin.
Guys, look at the shots on goal now, 18-16. New Trier has had 8 of the last 9 shots on goal in this game. Still have not beaten Calder Turpin yet. You feel that momentum from this Trevian team that's coming off 3 straight state championships. Feel like it's only time until they get one here before the end of the second.
And Dylan, it's almost like I played hockey for 12 years, just knowing the ebbs and flows of the game. I had a feeling that in this second frame, New Trier was really going to try and tighten things up, really close the gap. As we talked about before, it felt like the Lions really dictated the pace of play in that first period, and we expected, and we've seen so far that the Trevians would respond.
Responded, but haven't felt like a ton of high danger opportunities. You had the one grade A save from Turpin on the stuff attempt, but besides that, hasn't necessarily been an assault on his net by any means, but certainly the ice more tilted to our left.
Not at all, Max, but it's one of those where you want to gain momentum, gradually lead up to those big chances. I feel like at some point we're going to see another one. We saw that great right pad save that Turpin had earlier in this frame. I expect him to throw a lot more at him before this thing's over.
Yang pushed off the puck. Trevians won a penalty. They don't get a call. Hong off the glass and out. Herstrit drops it back into the Viator zone. Yang drops it across. Wolleben now on the forecheck. A elbow thrown the way of Lohmeyer, no call. Getting a little bit chippy here in the latter stages of the second period. Stefan didn't realize the puck was at his feet. Puck whispers back into the St. Viator end. Stefan gets the deflection, goes for a change. Wolleben. almost weaved through about 5 or 6 different stanchions, hit the last one before it came out.
Looked like it was going to split all of them before it came back down there. Waldman just trying to alleviate some pressure there as the Trevians needed a change, but one of those is a little bit higher of a ceiling. He's really just trying to flip that out into a soft space so everybody can really regroup there, but because we have the low ceiling, hits it up top. Defensive zone face-off here for the Trevians.
Draw to the left of Reed. It's Solomon that comes away with it for New Trier. Here's Lividitis. Was so close to a goal for New Trier just a few minutes ago. Set broken up, played back out to neutral ice. Hogan goes D to D. Finds Pukawa. This is his intended target. Viator says they got a deflection. Linesman says no.
And Max, you talked about the one and dones from the Trevian side. You can see right there, Leviditis. There's too much one-on-ones. It's too much singular action from the Trevians, and it's almost like they're not working as a team to try and build and get and tie things up here. So one of those, we know Adam Cheris is going to go to the chalkboard at intermission, try and draw something up where they work as a team, a good passing play at some point to get this thing tied.
1-0 our score. 3:33 left in the second period. Again, Calder Turpin ready at a moment's notice.
Just like that, we're almost tied in shots here with 3:30 left in the second period.
On comes Viator. Here's Sibitrov. Oh, shot high off the mask of Reed. He had to shake it off a little bit. Sibitrov gets it back. Hogan drops it below the goal. LeBoy trying to win the puck. Instead, it's Marino. Marino going to let traffic clear. Give to Roween on the charge up the ice. Trying to get it all the way up to Lividitis. Into Solomon. Backdoor Roween. Couldn't quite make it. Back up top, Selleck. He got pressure, so he had to play to the side. Przwara does a nice job of forcing it. Here comes LeBoy. Good stick from Marino to get the puck back out to neutral zone.
New Trier bench wondering why there's no penalty, as they believe Lividitis was interfered with back in their own zone.
Saw him down on the ice. Didn't see how it happened, but New Trier bench certainly had their opinion. Here's Marino. Roween off the half wall, goes across in front of Solomon, behind Roween. Loftus, quick touch, now 2-on-1 for Viator. The shot blockered away by Reed as Colton Newhouse lurked in the slot.
And Max, that's how quick this Lions team can really generate offense, and Max Reed on top of his crease once again. You can see just inside the blue paint there, stays tall and is able to track that off the blocker and out. New Trier is able to reset here. Reed's been a rock star in the Trevians net tonight.
Here's a shot from Loftus. Traffic throughout, but Reed's able to swallow it.
We mentioned it before, too. The face-off wins for the Lions is how they've generated so much success. We see a simple face-off win here back to the captain, Ryan Loftus, and he fires one, even though Reed, again, on top of his crease, just able to catch that right in the breadbasket.
Nuggets trying to force Giovanni DePinto off the puck, but it's Newhouse that comes away with it. Save from Reed. Comes back to the point, Hong. Spun around, now Loftus. Popiel drops for Newhouse. George Knight comes away with it for New Trier. And now Roween, and Alex Roween, not a good play there as he was working his way up ice and slowed his rush down. Oyang rink wide for Nuggets. Nuggets trying to get the puck across, falls to the feet of Layden. And now an odd man advantage coming for Viator if they hurry. Loftus lets the traffic clear, looking for the trailer. He's going to sauce it across. Now Hong from a sharp angle. Reed sticks it up to himself, but The oohs and ahs of the crowd commence.
And Max, it's one of those we'll see where Reed is hugging that post. If we get an angle from the other way, you can see right there where his stick, if we get one more there, Jimmy, maybe not. You can see his
Jimmy
stick,
says no.
His stick was turned towards the inside, so when that puck comes in on goal, there we go, Jimmy. Right there. We got a little bit of traffic in front of him. You can see his stick is turned towards the inside. And because of that, that puck ramps up and right into his chest.
Now Sibitrov in the slot to Boy, backdoor, just can't connect. And Speck can't keep it in at the point. Seen Pepe LeBoy complete that more times than not. 25 points on the SHL season. And 6 so far in the playoffs, but could not connect.
And Max, you talk about the snow that's been building up on the ice. Tonight, it looks like as LeBoy went to go receive that, it just bounced over his stick, as you mentioned. He's so sure-handed on that right side, and that could have easily been 2-0 here for the Lions late in the second period.
Draw to the right of Turpin. Comes below the goal, hard off the glass, and out to neutral ice. Sibitrov fires it deep to Selleck. Lohmeyer, see the snow build up, hurt him there. He was ready to let that puck ride and hit a snow patch and just died. Here's Herschritt. Finds Lohmeyer, but he can't handle the puck. Taken away. Sibitrov. As LeBoy coming up the slot, deflects up into the netting, we'll get a whistle.
Great stick there by Selleck, just knowing that the player of the year is coming barreling down on you, just doesn't panic, very calm there, just great defense, just simple stick check right on the puck, helping his goaltender out. Gets a whistle here, and just over 10 seconds left here in the second frame.
Dylan, before we break for the second period intermission, I think we're all eagerly awaiting a GBN Bennett update.
On it.
Herschritt able to win the draw, wrapped around as Marino has Woolabin catch up to it at his own blue line. Final couple of seconds. That's the buzzer. That's the end of 2 periods. After 2, back and forth we go. A much better period for New Trier, still trailing 1-0.
Yeah, they finally forced Calder Turpin to make some big saves there in the second period. One of those, as we expect, this New Trier team has been here before. They are going to come firing in the third period.
Quickly down to Dylan.
Guys, I'll actually update you on all the games going on. Lake Forest Varsity 1 takes down GBN Varsity 2, so that was a big upset by them in the last round, but they can't get it done against the SHL Scouts. The St. Ignatius Wolfpack currently up 4-0 over the Providence Catholic Celtics. As for GBN and Bennett, the Spartans lead 2-0 in the second period.
That's around the state as it happens. You're watching the SHL Championship. We'll take a timeout, catch our breath, clean the ice, come back with third period action where one of these two teams are going to win the Scholastic Cup here in 2026. Who will be? Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes on your home for SHL Hockey, the SHL Network on YouTube Live.
From Centennial Ice Rinks, we welcome you in live on the SHL Network YouTube.
Grady Cup, including one on a penalty shot.
The one with your team.
All right, thank you.
Of course. Chris, back to you.
Lead here with just about 6 games left.
Ooh, what a grab! Max just grabbed it out of the air!
Just doing my job, folks. Just doing my job.
Must have been to the Wes Anderson School of Goaltending up there. Glove saving a beaut, I must say, my man.
Draw to the left, and this one coming up near us. Just a couple of feet away.
Make a catch, Max.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Offense to really crack. Let's see if York can do anything here. Here they come on the bit of a rush. Pass over to Campusano, the one-timer, he scores!
Another look. I don't encourage you to read the lips of Evan Polakidis there.
There's another one. Did you get all of them, Jimmy?
Oh, he's compiled. That is excellent work by Jimmy the Wiz. That's fantastic. DBN bench all game.
I told you he should have put a helmet on. Coach Polakidis laughing that one off.
Mulvey, been such a strong defensive pairing for years for Jim Philbin's squad.
Oh my goodness.
What a snag.
That was an incredible snag from Jimmy Philbin.
Guys, he can do it all.
That was... we were so confused because he didn't even make it look like he caught it. No flash of the leather, just
Yeah, it was like the
literally
puck
moved his arm
disappeared,
across
and then
his
he was
body
like-
and just like picked it. Just picked it.
Hockey fans, the Chicago Wolves and Allstate Arena are the new host of the Illinois High School State Championship games.
He scores!
Mark your calendars now for the 2026 High School State Championships on March 6th and March 15th.
He scores!
Tickets are only $12 each day and are on sale now at all Ticketmaster outlets and Ticketmaster.com.
Fans, the Chicago Wolves and Allstate Arena are the new host of the Illinois High School State Championship games.
He scores!
Mark your calendars now for the 2026 High School State Championships on March 6th and March 15th.
He scores!
Tickets are only $12 each day and are on sale now at all Ticketmaster outlets and Ticketmaster.com.
Welcome back live to Mount Prospect Ice Arena. Game 1. That's a one-game championship of the SHL final. St. Viator and New Trier. St. Viator a 1-0 lead after 2 periods. Wes Anderson with me. Got Dylan Ward down on ice level as well. Wes, your thoughts after 2 periods?
I mean, it was a really even game there in the second. St. Viator really controlled the first there. Let's see if the Trevians can respond to here and tie things up.
Send it down to Dylan Ward, who's with Tim Benz.
Thanks, guys. Well, Tim, you guys are up 1-0 in front of this huge student section. What is it like for the guys out there to play in front of a crowd like this?
Oh, it's a great experience. You know, the kids like it. Obviously, a lot of the student bodies here in support, so it's great to see the school culture out in full force.
You guys dominated that first period. New Trier started to show some signs of life in the second. What needs to change going into the third to grab a couple more and close this thing down?
Yeah, I thought we let off the gas a little bit, kind of complacent, but we need to reestablish the forecheck and get back after it and play like we did in the first period.
When you guys were in the CCHL, you won 2 Kennedy Cups with you behind the bench. You know this feeling, 1 period to go. What are the nerves like amongst you, the coaches and the players?
I wouldn't say nerves. We're trying to keep it as loose as we can be. At the end of the day, it's 200 by 85 feet, boards and glass, right? So we're looking to play hockey for 17 minutes and hopefully come out on top.
Okay, Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan. Tim Benz trying to lead his team to an SHL championship. Already got the regular season championship. The crowd consternation over the noisemakers you've heard throughout the game. Right as we were coming back on air. Feel like it messed up my open a little bit.
It's tough. It's one of those where we don't really feel like we have to broadcast through a little adversity, but those vuvuzelas, whatever those things are, have been loud all night up until this point. So as we talked to the assistant coach of York, Ben Stein, he's like, I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to even have those in here. So I'm glad that we've got everything sorted out. Get things going again here, Dylan.
Let's talk about the vuvuzelas. You're giving me flashbacks to the South Africa World Cup 2010. That was pretty much every game at all times. So it's not that bad, but I do know what you guys are talking about.
Well, Dylan, I think those noisemakers were right below where me and Max were.
Yeah, that's the difference. You guys are right on top of it.
A couple jump scares as we were just trying to do our final prep before we came on air. So glad that for the meantime, those will not be going off here for the third period or overtime if we get there.
Here's what I know. That open of the third period, not going on my reel. That's all I can tell you.
Wes, you talk about overtime. Something to note heading into this third period is we have not had overtime in a single game in spite of all the game threes in the SHL playoffs so far.
Well, Dylan, just given all the crazy hockey things that have happened today, it feels just right that we play some extra hockey here tonight at Mount Prospect.
Third period underway. The SHL Championship live from Mount Prospect Ice Arena. Will it be St. Viator, the 1 seed, the favorite, holding on here in the third period, or can the back-to-back-to-back state champions make a run at it here in the third.
And guys, I just got to ask on the screen, Pepe LeBoy with the snow shower on me. How did that look?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to bring that up. You could tell he was getting amped up for this third period. You held your cool as you were talking to the coaching staff. So good on you by that, Dylan.
I think, Dylan, you might make Jimmy's blooper reel here coming forward.
I'm hoping so. Hey, he actually hit me with a sorry, so that was unintentional, but I bet it looked cool.
Awkward bounce, still loose around the crease as Lohmeyer tried to stuff it home. A couple of nervy moments here in the first 30 seconds of the third.
And the ice hasn't completely set here. Is that some great camera work by Matt Freeman? That looked like interference all day. The Trevian's lucky that that wasn't called, and they're not going to the penalty kill here. But you can see the ice hasn't completely set. Turpin with a little difficulties trying to get a glove on that last play. Just some uneasy moments here as we start this third period.
I mentioned we are not responsible for background noises made on the broadcast. Also not responsible for any lips read. That's on you. We're on YouTube. Marino up the half wall. Can't get it any further than that. He'll circle back. Fire it deep. Giving Alex Roween and George Knight a chance on the forecheck, but Finn Hogan cleanly plays the puck out of the zone, but too far as an icing will give New Trier an offensive zone draw in the first minute of the third.
Max, you talk about the lip read. Vince Trocheck had quite the one after the gold medal game here today. If the viewers want to go back and see that in their free time, I think that's one that they will definitely get a kick out of.
Wes, that's incredible. I thought I was the only one who caught that.
Puck pops up into the netting. So a clunky start to this third period. Already 3 or 4 whistles in the first minute. Really DePinto and Knight in the draw for this offensive zone chance for New Trier. Possession taken by Tommy Speck and the St. Viator Lions. Here comes Ryan Loftus. Loftus with speed and space tries to flip it to DePinto. It's had a huge collision as Knight and DePinto were tied up. Now Jenner Layden. 2-on-2, late arriving comes DePinto as well. Trevian's late on the forecheck. Herstrit, right place, right time, picks the puck up. Now Roween, late in the shot. It's blocked, never got through. Centering, but nobody there as Selleck a little bit deeper is taken out by Newhouse. Now John Colpins wrestled down to the ice, and that's going to be a penalty. Tripping the call. I called it wrestling move. Apparently it was a tripping move.
Could have been a trip or a hold as we see there on the replay.
Peter Marino, the tripping call. So an early power play for St. Viator, already up a goal if they can find 2 the way that Turpin's been in net and they've played defensively overall. Be a tough hill to climb for the Trevians. Draws a stalemate, coming away with it to Yang. Plays it off the boards and down.
It's one of those where the Lions don't need to be overly aggressive here, get into their sets and really try and find a great scoring opportunity, a great scoring chance here to extend the lead with the man advantage.
Sibitrov has the puck poked off his stick. Turpin comes way out. Oyang putting the pressure on now. Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer loses his balance. Instead, it's Pepe LeBoy. Rink wide looking for Kanek. Nagats pushes him off the puck. Brzwara comes as support for Viator. Sibitrov not able to get it along the half wall and fired down by the Trevians. Here's Loftus. Loftus building up a head of steam. Oyang trying to force the action. Comes to Steffen. Nagats gets the worst of that exchange. Oyang around the boards but not out. Jeong Hong. Off the half wall, the shot. And smothered by Reed.
Reed able to see that the entire way. Just see a quick replay. The Lions trying to set up a little bit of a screen in front.
You can see the screen in front by
Ciccone. Yeah,
it's just drifted a little bit too far.
It's one of those where I don't think he wanted to completely get in the way of the goaltender. He was more looking for a rebound off the pad, but Reed, they're able to just swallow that one up right in the breadbasket once again.
Here's George Knight. He loses his edge coming forward. Tucker wraps it around the boards. Going to try to win possession and waste a little bit of time, but a nice play in the corner by DePinto. Let Stefan break it out. Ciccone, and just off sides was Colton Newhouse.
To the dislike, too, of a few St. Viator fans here in the student sections. A lot of palms up in the crowd. New Trier doing a great job here on the penalty kill. One that they need to turn in if they hope to get things tied up. Just sticks and lanes, not really giving the Lions any type of room to operate once they do get that puck in the zone.
Hogan fires it deep. 25 to go on the power play. Not much to show for it thus far for Viator. Tommy Speck keeps it in at the near point. Speck circling. Sharp angle in on Reed. Kicked away by Reed. Speck takes a pretty big spill as he got rid of the puck, but kept in by Hogan. And now a hand pass the call, so we'll come out to center ice.
And Dylan, I don't know if you've noticed it all, but every time I look down at the benches, St. Viator, everyone's sitting down, everyone's relaxed. On the opposite side, New Trier, I don't think anyone is sitting at all. We know both teams are engaged, but just a different vibe between the home and away benches.
Yeah, St. Viator's getting a little comfortable. You heard Tim Benz in the interview say he wants his team to be loose and he doesn't want there to be a lot of nerves. But New Trier right now at risk of losing the SHL final for the second straight year, which is unlike them. So they're going to try and tie this thing up.
Jenner Layden. 2-on-2 forward, but Finn Hogan controls. Fires it for Priswara. Now Sibitroff. Deflection gets it deep. Reed plays it for Nagets. Looks to go rink wide for Layden. Pestered the entire way by Sibitroff. Priswara comes as well. Finally Pepe LeBoy. And he'll flip it up into the neutral zone. Oyang coming right back. Oyang shooting. Hits the backside of Adam Popiel. Now Roween in the corner trying to dig it out. Popiel on his stick and is able to get it up to Priswara. 2-on-2. Across as Priswara just could not hold the line.
Max, that's all created too. Kai Oyang just pinches in and trying to really kickstart the Trevians offense there, but in doing so, he gets caught deep. The Trevians lucky that the Lions aren't able to really matriculate that 2-on-1 out of anything. In doing so, just a little bit eager to get into the zone, and they go off sides there. A little bit of a break there for the Trevians.
Max Reed calmly gloves it with 12:22 to go in the third. Saw the ad between periods. Excited to have the state championship games this year at All-State Arena. Tickets are on sale now for the 6th and the 15th at Ticketmaster.com or wherever you get your tickets on Ticketmaster. Don't know exactly what that means, but I'm told to say it. Weird deflection ends up trickling in on Reed.
Very well get a rematch of this one in the state championship. St. Viator #1 seed in the SHL, New Trier #2 seed. Same seeds in the state bracket, so both the teams are projected to make it to the final. We'll see what happens.
If you're wondering, is it going to be chalk? It almost was a huge upset today earlier with Loyola. They were able to escape New Trier Blue. They'll meet Loyola. I'm sorry, they'll meet Lake Forest in the quarterfinals.
You know, you talk about the state championship, Max. This is giving me flashbacks to last year's state final between New Trier Green and Bennett. New Trier scored an early goal in that one just a couple of minutes in, and then it ended up being a 1-0 final score. St. Viator scored, I think it was 2.5 minutes into this one, and we have not seen another puck go in the back of the net yet.
And Dylan, it almost feels like the game we watched earlier where USA was able to get a goal on their first shot of the game, really packed it in, and then Canada tied things up in the third period, I believe, but has a similar feel to earlier where it's just so much back and forth, but not a lot of goals being scored. So we'll see how things shake out here in the last 12 minutes of tonight.
Livinitis and Solomon come forward. The shot from Solomon from a sharp angle. High off the glass by Loftus, hits the netting, so we'll have an offensive zone draw on the way for New Trier.
It's one of those that the Trevians almost caught Calder Turpin coming off his post there early, forced him to make a save there on the blocker side before that puck went out of play.
Looked like New Trier was going to get possession off the draw, but weren't able to. Bad clearance attempt keeps the Trevians alive. Here's Oyang, whiffs on the shot. Solomon from a sharp angle. It's blocked by Pukala. Pinching in, trying to keep it in at the near point. Oyang wasn't able to. Now a big hit from Nagets. As Loftus didn't have his head up. Rink wide, Lohmeyer.
Captain against captain on that hit.
Goes into the New Trier bench.
That one got Adam Cheris on the right leg, guys. I don't mean to laugh, but he's definitely wincing that one off.
Looked like it ricocheted too off of George Knight there. And we know Adam Cheris is a tough customer too. He'll be okay. Don't think he's going to exit this game by any means. As you can see, he's keeled over there, but he'll be all right.
Ruin for Knight. Takes the shot to flex wide, Sibatroff. Missing everybody, and that will go the length of the ice for icing.
The Lions just do such a good job of collapsing in front of their goaltender. We've seen it time and time again, whether it's getting sticks in lanes, getting a body in the shooting lane. They just do it so well over and over, where the reason why they don't give up so many shots is because their defense is helping out their goaltender in front of them, just being those big bodies and preventing those shots from getting through.
This is why Jimmy the Wiz is the best. He reminds me that third periods on the SHL network are brought to you by Glenbrook North, where winners win, which last time we checked in with Dylan Ward, Glenbrook North was in fact winning, but big thank you to Glenbrook North. Their big sponsorship and support of the SHL and the SHL network lets us broadcast so many of the games that we do, and all of our great sponsors. Of course, Loyola Academy sponsors the post-game interview. Stay tuned for that. For the winning team from the SHL Championship, the team that will hoist the Scholastic Cup. You'll see it live right here on SHL Network. Nagets across, but Oyang wasn't quite where Nagets was expecting. Now given away, Pepe LeBoy, but Knight quickly back to cut off the angle. Priswara tries a drop pass. Knight was waiting for it. Still loose in the slot, eventually trickles back out to center ice. Hong getting pressure. Jenner Layden keeps it alive. Can't find Alex Rowan. On comes Steffen. Drags to the slot. He makes one man miss. Couldn't get the shot off. Nice looking move by Steffen. Bounces behind the cage. Marino. Now Charlie Cannon can't get it out. Cannon once more, finally able to get high off the glass and out. And now Wilson and Popiel exchange blows.
Max, since you mentioned it, it is in the third period in Northbrook. Glenbrook North once led 2-0, now 2-1 over Bennett.
The Red Wings there trying to
Y'all remember how that went last year.
poise a comeback on the road. Dylan, keep us updated on that. That would be some big news coming out of Northbrook. The Spartans taking down the Red Wings.
Selleck puts the puck in. Lohmeyer. Now Marino, the shot. Feels like it's going to take more than that to beat Turpin here tonight.
Looks like he was waiting to for Herscher, as you can see, come across just a little bit late, but Turpin's able to get the glove before Jack can get in the way. As you mentioned, Max, it's going to have to be a harder shot than that to beat one of the best goaltenders in the state. You can see he's just leaned up, too, against that crossbar. Very calm here as things start to wind down in this third period.
What a postseason for Calder Turpin. He entered the postseason just under 94% save percentage at 93.7. Coming into the game, he had a 96.2% save percentage. so far on the night. Just a remarkable performance so far in the postseason. And he's keeping it up tonight with 20 saves so far. Lohmeyer pushed down to the ice off the draw, and it's cleared by Viator. Kanek was giving it chase. Eventually comes out to Lohmeyer. Selleck chips it in towards Turpin, who scoops it into his glove and will take a whistle.
Max, you talk about Calder Turpin. On top of that save percentage, a sub-1 goals against average through the first 4 games of SHL playoffs, and he's just making it look easy. This one from distance one, that's typically not going to beat the Lions netminder. As you see, he just almost looks like a shortstop like that, just scoops it up like you said, gets a whistle, and an offensive zone faceoff here for the Trevians.
Draw to come to the left of Turpin. Tommy Lividitis getting some instructions on where the linesman wants him lined up. Wrapped around the boards by Finn Hogan. Loftus takes it for St. Viator. Now Ciccone. Naggett stands him up at the blue line. Solomon with a quick touch, instead sent right back in by Tommy Speck. Dangerous chip across by Naggett, went across the crease of Reed. I'm sure you always love that as a goaltender, Wes.
Keeps you on your toes.
Here's Solomon. Had a steam coming through the middle of the ice, and again whiffs on the puck. Seen a lot of that tonight from New Trier. Oyang several times. Priswara wraps the net. Went for a wrap attempt, but Oyang was there to cut off the angle. Here's Finn Hogan, the shot. Traffic in front, still loose. Priswara couldn't get the second opportunity. On comes Lividitis. He puts the puck below the goal. Speck loses an edge and gets a penalty called on a tripping call, and that is not a good call. I'm just going to call it right. I saw the play the whole way. Tommy Lividitis is furious. Tommy Speck was going to the ice and had nothing to do with Tommy Lividitis.
Max, I have to agree there, as 88 and White's going to go for a trip. You can see if we get another replay there. The puck's coming around. He goes to poke, and in
Jimmy,
doing
can we roll
so,
that back?
And in doing so, you can see the puck had already left, but he's making a play on the puck.
Jimmy, can we see that one more time?
As you'll slow it down for you can
He's
see
already going to the ice. That's a really tough call for Tommy Lividitis. You can sort of see what the ref might have seen, but we had our eyes on it directly. So a break for Viator. Can they take advantage and put a 2-goal lead ahead? Here's Hong. A shot from Hong, deflects wide, now loose right out in front, gets kicked aside. Here's Kanek, centering pass, bouncing around, might have clipped off the post. Hong keeps it alive. Kanek's shot right into the chest of Reed.
Guys, after you described that one, I had to go back on my iPad and watch it again. I'll say I do agree with both of you.
We'll see if New Trier is able to survive this.
Viator looks a lot more sharp on this power play than they did at the one earlier in the period. The head coaching staff definitely went to the whiteboard there, drew something up. You can see they're moving the puck a little bit better up top. They're trying to wait for that screen in front of Reed. We saw that last chance, it wasn't there, but I expect Spector, excuse me, or DePinto, somebody to get in front of Reed on this man advantage.
7:10 remaining between St. Viator and their first Scholastic Cup. Here's Pepe LeBoy. Getting pressure now. Jenner Layden almost able to break free. Still trying to make something happen shorthanded. Here's George Knight on his wing. Ends up on the stick of Sibatroff. Connor Sibatroff, the SHL Player of the Year, trying to lead his Viator squad. Brzwara leaves. Sibatroff's shot fought off by Reed. Now Ryan Loftus will lead the rush for St. Viator. Trying to get that puck to settle down. Never quite gets to where he wanted it to, but gets it deep. LeBoy shuttles it across. Loftus comes into the corner. Marino late in there to try to dig it out. It's Marino that comes out with it, and Layden's going to carry it out for New Trier. Jenner Layden turns, shoots, and Turpin. Feels like the first time we've had to call his name in quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, New Trier only their 5th shot of the period, too. We thought they'd be a little bit more desperate here, trying to tie things up. Jenner Layden, good switch there up top towards the top of the zone and trying to cause some confusion there on the side of the Lions defense. He rips a shot, top glove, but Calder Turpin's on top of it. Makes another great glove save here tonight to keep this a 1-0 hockey game.
20 to go on the power play. Finn Hogan with the puck. Looks for a stretch pass. Roween breaks it up. Now Yang. This one fired off the glass and down with 10 to go on the power play. Out of the box comes Lividitis. Bukala drops it deep. Nagats and Herstrid out there. Herstrid didn't realize Nagats was leaving it for him. Here's Roween. Now Lohmeyer. Trying to break out of his zone, turns it over. Here's the shot, but Reed gloves that calmly. The shot from Ciccone.
And Dylan, you might have a better read on, that's a little bit of a tongue twister, a better read on the shot totals for both teams. What 22 through 2.5 periods, I feel like is so low for the Trevians. We expect them to be desperate to really pick things up in this third period, and they just have not been able to through the first half of this third period.
Hard off the glass and out. Hong sends it right back in. Nolan Nagats on the puck. Trying to break something out, but misses his intended target of Wolben. Now to Oyang. Check made. Puck dispossessed by Giovanni DePinto. Here's Wolben. Good stick from Hong to deflect the shot. Centering pass. Stick from Turpin. Made sure it went wide. Now Lohmeyer keeps it in initially at the blue line, but Lohmeyer's stick cracks. Herstrid. Not quite on the same page with Roween. That chipped out of the zone. .4:30 to go in the SHL Championship live from Mount Prospect Ice Arena. It was a goal for St. Viator in the first 3 minutes of the game, and that has been it. New Trier has not had that many even grade A opportunities. I can think of maybe 2 or 3 at the most. Loftus circles. Loftus, backhanded shot goes over the head of Max Reed. Now Wolben. 4 minutes to go. Jack Herstrid steps across center ice and keeps Turpin honest, fires it right in on him, and earns an offensive zone draw out of it.
Looked like Turpin was sleeping just a tad bit, reacted a little late to that. Either way, is able to make a save. One of those is a goalie. You almost like to see him play that to keep this clock ticking. New Trier really hadn't established any type of forecheck at that moment, so the more you can just keep that flow going, force them to come in and try and take the puck away, the offensive zone just makes it even harder for them to try and tie things up.
Draw one cleanly, but again, the Trevians can't get a clean shot through. That ventured against Viator's upwards of 15, maybe 20 blocked shots tonight. We don't have that advanced stat at the high school level, but that's my best guess of it. They've done a great job of also protecting Turpin from having to face too many shots.
Max, you made a highlight of it in the first period, and since then, yeah, I think it might be even closer to 25 at this point. They do just such a great job of collapsing in front of their netminder, making his job as easy as possible back there in the blue paint.
Marino pulled down to the ice. New Trier looking for a penalty. They don't get one. Here's Roween. Roween. Now Knight. Battle in front with Marino. Now the shot from Roween goes just wide. Inches away from tying this game. Layden's got to let that puck go, or it would have been offsides. Here's Priswara. He's got to step on Selleck. Nicely played by Selleck and won by Jenner Layden.
No penalty either.
Marino chipped along, but finds Max Reed, who plays quickly for Selleck. Here's Stefan with 2.5 to go. Fires it in on Reed. Reed decides to play it smartly, and Selleck loses an edge. Herschritt looks for the stretch pass, trying to find Lohmeyer, but stepping in front of it was Popiel. St. Viator not letting the Trevians break out as Max Reed starts to glance towards his bench. Lohmeyer takes a hit. Reed started to go towards his bench and like an outfielder retreated towards his goal and makes a really impressive play, gloves it, and is able to play it forward with a stick. And now the icing from the Trevians is going to prevent them from being able to get Reed off the ice.
Max, you made mention of it too. Reed, just great awareness there to realize that the Trevians didn't have.
We get a timeout from the Trevians.
We see it on the replay there. Just like you mentioned, I think he might come back in a frame after he makes the glove save there. And it's great patience too to not move the puck.
Every goaltender thinks they should lead off the penalty shot, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah.
That's Max Reed's bid for it right there.
And so you can see just great hesitation there. Moves the puck up the ice, and you almost force Adam Cheris to use his timeout right now because they haven't really been able to generate anything in the offensive zone here tonight. Only 6 shots in this third period. On the opposite side, the Lions have 12 so far, so Reed's been tested all night, and in particular in this third period as well as Adam Cheris. He's trying to rally his troops, almost trying to get that top line a little bit of a breather now. So once they get that puck in the offensive zone, they've got their P's and Q's, they've got their sets, and they've got what they need to do worked out. We saw just before this, Ruim, he had a great chance there in the high slot, just not able to get enough wood on it. Puck goes wide of the net. I expect them to draw something up similar here to try and free up some space in that high slot with a little bit of a screen or a little bit of traffic in front of Turpin to get this thing tied up here in the last 2 minutes.
Number 1 versus number 2 for the championship in the top high school hockey league in Illinois. What more could you want? A good, well, if I had to guess, at least 1,000 people in this rink right now, which is probably not exactly up to fire code.
I was going to say, we are beyond beyond capacity at this point.
You got a big crowd over on the central ring too as prep.
Draw to the left of Max Reed. Lohmeyer the near half wall. Kate Lohmeyer trying to make something happen. 6 attackers now on the ice for the Trevians. Max Reed goes. Jack Herschritt on the foul, couldn't get it. Here's a shot from distance, just wide of the net. That's icing, and we'll come down to the New zone.
Don't love that out of Ryan Loftus, but it looks like the Trevians kind of got what they were looking for, just a jam play at the net with some traffic in front. The shot is low into the pads of Turpin, forces a rebound out there with some speed up the middle from Herschritt. Just not able to connect there. See if they go back to that play here in the next minute and 39 seconds.
Draw to the right of Turpin. It's Herschritt opposite LeBoy. Tied up, trying to find it. It chips out. This one edging towards the goal, just wide, and we get another icing.
And New Trier will take that. As long as that puck goes the full distance, they are okay with that. It seems like, I shouldn't say it seems like, Viator's trying to ice this thing down. One of those you can see the coaching staff is trying to get them to be more sure in their stick. Maybe just chip that out instead of that going the full length and giving the Trevians another offensive zone faceoff.
Try to get that puck just to stop short. Maybe a little backspin. Golf season coming up, Wes. Minute 25 to go. Popiel tries to get it out. Again, it's swiped down ice. Again, it's icing with a minute 20 to go.
They're just going to have to keep winning faceoff after faceoff. Like I mentioned, New Trier, they're okay with this. Their top line, they've been out there the whole time, and each time the puck goes down, it's just even more rest that they get to have. They've already got their play drawn up on the whiteboard, as I mentioned, so they already know what they need to do. So they're okay if that puck like I said, keeps going the distance.
Hershrit tries a different tactic this time. Prizwara sending it on goal. Off the post. Would not go in. New Trier still has life. Lohmeyer leaves for Woolben. His shot wide. Woolben flips it around. 1 minute to go. Jack Hershrit tries a centering pass. Doesn't get there. Marino keeps it alive. Now Oyang takes a shot. Gets a deflection just wide of the cage. And it would have been friendly fire. Nagats for Oyang. Marino chips it ahead. Puck kind of lost among everybody here in the final 35. Loftus breaks free. Loftus, backhand shot goes wide. 25 to go. Woolben misses Nagats. 20 now. Oyang running out of time. Sends it up ice for Nagats. Backhand, not able to control. The Viator fans can feel it. Their first SHL Cup within their grasp. Here's Lohmeyer, one more chance. Lohmeyer across the crease. Final 3 seconds. That'll do it. St. Viator and Scholastic Cup champions.
What a game, Max. 1-0, as tight as it can be. We thought this thing might go into overtime before the game. 153 straight minutes of shutout hockey by the Lions. 2 straight against the Dukes, and then a clean slate again here tonight against the Trevians to take it all. It was a team effort. Only 24 shots given up, 35 on the opposite side against the Trevians. Just a great performance up and down from every facet of the game for the Lions tonight, and they have their first SHL championship.
Calder, Turpin, 3 straight shutouts in the SHL playoffs against the 4th-ranked, and 2nd-ranked teams in the state. I don't know who's going to be able to beat this St. Viator team right now, Wes. They just seem to be on a mission. They've got now 2 for 2. They got the league. They've got the Scholastic Cup. Only 1 more to go, and that one gets won at Rosemont in about 2 weeks.
And we talked about it, Max. They know that they will probably be there's a good chance that they might see this Trevians team again on that ice in Rosemont at All-State. So they're happy for this. They're going to take it in. They're going to enjoy it, but they know that their job is not finished here in their season this year.
The 2 teams having concluded their season series in the SHL, like Wes mentioned, may still play again down the line. That would only happen in a state championship game given their seedings. We've got Dylan Ward down on the ice. He's going to get some interviews as well. But Wes, with that, an SHL champion in St. Viator. Glenbrook North last year, St. Viator this year. And the depth and quality of this league continues to shine through.
Max, we talk about all year. There is no easy game in this league. New Trier, for so long, they had a stranglehold on winning the league or winning the playoffs, and now the last 2 years between St. Viator and Glenbrook North, it feels like the tide is starting to turn, and that period that we've talked about for so long is finally coming to life.
So the trophy presentation coming here shortly as well. I see Sam Schwartz out on the ice with the Scholastic Cup. Painful for the Trevians, again, to have to watch an SHL championship go to the other team as St. Viator locks in on their fight song.
And we mentioned it, just what a crowd that the Lions have here tonight. You can see just in front of us, everybody lined up on the boards, as you mentioned, singing their fight song too. All the hugs, the congratulations, the high fives. of a season of a culmination that's led to this, of winning their first SHL playoff title. The Scholastic Cup now resides here in Mount Prospect.
Now they pose for the team picture as Tim Benz been at the helm of this program for several years now. It's been building. It was 3 years ago that they made their first state championship game in program history. They lost that one in convincing fashion, frankly, to a Stevenson team that reminds me a lot of this team. The way this team plays defensively, we talked about the block shots. The thing I remember most from that Stevenson team was more block shots than I can ever remember in my entire life. That seems a similar formula here for St. Viator.
Max, that Stevenson team, that was their MO. They played so well defensively, and then they had 3 or 4 guys who could really take over on the offensive side of things. You look at this St. Viator team, up and down the lineup of the people who can contribute on the offensive side of the puck, and then on the flip side, you've got an all-star in Calder Turpin. So as you mentioned, just so many resemblances to that Stevenson team from years ago.
Music to Wes's ear. I think Dylan's trying to locate Calder Turpin. Is that 3 post-game interviews in a row? Brought to you by Loyola Academy, a tradition of excellence. He might get an internship on the SHL network the way he's going. Take it away, Dylan.
Thanks, guys. Well, Calder, you get the shutout here in the SHL final, 24 for 24 perfect. What were you seeing out there?
I mean, they've seen the hot streak we've been on, so they've been taking nothing but high-quality shots today. I want to shout out our defense. I think maybe 8 block shots. That's huge.
Looked like our mic might have gotten a little wet. Hopefully that's still working down there.
8 or 9 block
Dylan.
shots. That's huge when it comes to those difficult shots. I can't see those point shots, and obviously the fans out here really bringing the atmosphere for this game, so we haven't had a whole lot of.
You ended up getting the coach's trophy as the #1 seed in the SHL. You proved that here with the Scholastic Cup. I know you guys are focused on state, but in this moment, what does it mean to be SHL champions?
I mean, it's the first time, you know, this team has been special from day one. All it took was building that chemistry, that teamwork, figuring out those loose ends, tying them up, and I mean, we're unstoppable now.
Thanks so much. Good luck in state.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan. And a incredible moment on the network. I don't think we've ever had a goalie get interviewed 3 games in a row, Wes. But that's how good Calder Turpin and this defensive core for St. Viator has been over the last couple of weeks. And like we mentioned, we don't see it slowing down.
I mean, they haven't given up a goal, I think, including state in almost 2 weeks, over 4 or 5 games. We know the three that have happened in the SHL playoffs. It looks like Dylan has Ryan Loftus down there.
Dylan, go ahead.
Thanks, guys. Well, Ryan, you've been a part of this varsity team for a long time. You are SHL champions. You win the regular season coach's trophy and follow it up with this. How does it feel?
I mean, this is surreal. We got another job to do, though. We're focused on state. We've always been focused on state. This is pretty cool, but we got a job to do still. This is great. I mean, we do it. Our coaches said we got our posters up from our teams from former years. We play for them. We play for each other. That's just what we do.
Mason Steffen opened the scoring just 2.5 minutes in. Did you have any idea that would be the game winner?
No, but I mean, Mason's a great player. He does his job. He's a sophomore and he plays like a senior. He's a great guy, great player. No way. We went into the third period thinking we're not gonna win this game with a 1-0 lead, but that's just what good teams do.
Well, you guys did not hoist the Scholastic Cup. In fact, it's still sitting right over there. What's that about?
It's just a little superstition. Our team's got a lot of tradition. Yeah, someone's going to have to go pick that one up because we're not touching it.
Looks like Sam Schwartz is on it. Good luck in state. Thanks so much. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. Great work all game long down on ice level, bringing the sound of the game. One thing I do want to mention while we were showering St. Viator, I don't know if you noticed, but Adam Cheris had all of his guys stand out on the blue line as they got the trophy presented. Some may call it class. I think it's also a matter of, hey guys, we can fix this come a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah, it's one of those where they know that they need to have that feeling of the loss that's happened, just to feel it in. They know their season's not over yet, but they need to just take everything in, get refocused, get reorganized, remotivated, and get things going as the state playoffs continue.
Meanwhile, for St. Viator, just an absolute wagon at this point. It's going to take something special from one of the teams that they play over the next couple of weeks to beat them. Right now, I just don't see it. St. Viator, the clear favorite at this point in state.
I mean, the way Calder Turpin is going, he might shut out the rest of the state and hoist that state championship trophy in a couple weeks. You talk about a wagon, Max. They are a freight train right now as they're running through not only the SHL playoffs, but also the state playoffs.
No doubt about it. That will do it for us here from Mount Prospect Ice Arena. Like we mentioned earlier, this is our final SHL Network broadcast officially of the season. We will have additional broadcasts on the SHL Network YouTube page. Those technically all A-High broadcasts. A huge thank you to all of you at home who tuned in all season long to SHL hockey. We had record numbers on YouTube alone, and that doesn't even take into account the fact that we had 8 games simulcast on Marquee Sports Network and still broke records on the YouTube. We broke a record for the SHL Championship tonight. We had nearly 2,000 people watching at one point in this game. The fans at home continue to drive the growth of this network, of this league. We want to thank you so much for being with us all season long. For our great crew, that includes Matt Freeman on our main camera. Of course, we had Dylan Ward down at ice level. Gerard Boris joined the technical staff today, along with, of course, the great Jimmy the Wiz Olsen, doing what he always does and what he's done for a decade. My partner in crime, Jimmy the Wiz, getting it done once again. For Wes Anderson to my right, I'm Max Anderson. That's it for the SHL season, but come right back next weekend. We'll have Red Varsity quarterfinals live from Dundee right here on the SHL Network. St. Viator's SHL champions until next week, and we bid you a good night. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next Saturday. Oh, good show, everybody.